Welcome back to Horse Racing Today, or Horse Racing Radar on Horse Racing Today on Horse Racing Radar TV. Whatever it is, that's where we are today for terrific Terry Thursday, as always, at Gulfstream Park. We've got a lot of folks saying hi to get the day started. Good morning, Jose. How are you today? Good morning, Armando. How are you today? And then good morning, I'm not sure quite how to pronounce that, but to you too. And then, of course, our great friend Don Johnson joins us as well today. If, like them, you have any suggestions today, some thoughts, any sorts of those type of things, let us know in the comment section. We greatly appreciate it. Hello to you as well, Mr. Guitar 2010. All right, living on the island playing guitar. Are you a rock star? Looks like you're living like one. If you're not, if that's where you call home. All right, Terry. Well, today we always call free picks home at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Louisiana Downs, the place to be today. A link in the description here on YouTube or wherever you find us. Click on that, and you will see that in race number 1, that 870-yard race, Pythagoras is going to be the top choice. You can get that again, Horse Racing Today. Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Link in the description. All right, speaking of tips, Terry, that's what we do here. We'll start with race number 1.
Okay, well, it's 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather track. And it's a maiden claiming race, $12,500 claiming price, purse $25,000 for fillies, maidens, fillies, and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
So $170 on the all-weather track. What you're looking for in terms of a profile of winners, stalkers, horses that are middle forward. 19% of them go wire to wire. There is a bit of a rail discount. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 through 7 fair. 8 now discounted as well. A lot of scratches in here for our 1,000 simulations in race number 1. Terry, let me get to the right race. Usually I have that prep beforehand. Here are only 5 horses in here. Terry, who's going to get the lead?
Well, it looks like that they all but the 5 have some kind of speed, but that 1 and 2 have the most speed. They could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. 2 has the only overlay I see, 1 to 10 to 2 to 1, and the 2 is the only par plus number. All but the 5 have C-zones, and the 1 and the 3 have nice Q30s.
Yes, they have 100% of the querying points between those 2. Along with simulations, 1, we take a look at race shape. Well, nobody wants to be on the lead. Nobody wants to lead or co-pilot. Oh, no co-pilots. Nobody that wants to have a lot of flexibility. Just the 8's been a closer. The 1, 2, and 3 so far not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. And then there's the 5 horse, first-time starter. All right, Terry, let's take a look at the early pace. Well, pretty tight in there except for the 8 horse. The late pace for the experienced horses does favor the 2 and the 3. They have a big edge. Total pace, they also have a pretty big edge over the rest. So maybe the 2, the 3, and the 5. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I like the 2 Buddhist Prodigy. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Farrell's favorite. The 3 is my second choice. Drops in class today also, and she has a trainer with 29% of the maiden claiming races that he has a horse running in, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Vanilla Cream, the 1, is my third choice, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then that 5, Starship Kit Kat. First-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 1 starter. No additional bets for me here.
Yeah, the 2 horse right now is 3 to 5, so as strange as that might sound, that horse still offers value. It's actually down to 1 to 2 now. Probably be lower by the time they get going. Did run the top last race, speed figure, 12 points better than everybody else. Has even more upside than that. Should be close to the front, if not on the front. Starship Kit Kat is the first-time starter with a back bullet and a lot of good works. I think that might be where the upset comes from, if there is one. Pharaoh's favorite, the 3 horse, should be closing. Looks better than the other horses that are left in this race, which are the 1 and the 8. I took the 1 over the 8 because he's got less races than the 8, therefore more upside potential and just the 3rd career starts. Starting to make their way to the gates, Terry. And if you're joining us for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not done so on YouTube. Also, thumbs up and likes are appreciated. It's a great way to help boost our scores, the algorithms for all the tech companies. If you're watching on X, formerly known as Twitter, please retweet. Follow us if you have not yet done so. Our goal for both of those venues is to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. And we have some other social sites. You see them streaming down there below. You can follow us there as well, including Facebook, where I promise you we will start to put more content on all of those things fairly soon. The horses are making their way across the dirt track, across into the Tapeta track, so they should be lining up. When the show is over, get some ground to fill here, Terry. When the show is over, you can go over to horseracingtoday.net. Right there in the middle of the screen, you will see Gulfstream Park Picks live stream for February the 12th. You can go right here, click on that, and that will take you to, she should be already the 13th. I don't know why that's the 12th over there, but that'll take you to today's picks. You'll see our thoughts and commentary as well right down in here. So if you missed anything, it's a great place to come back to. Also, a great place to go while you're there is to the HRT Gear store. You see it in the menu right there. Click on that. 22% off everything for the next 5 days. And who can't use 22% off, Terry?
That's right. Especially nowadays with everything costing so much.
Yes, indeed. Well, hopefully some of that stuff starts to go the other way at some point. Well, we hope so. All right. Let's see. Jose, how you doing in there today? Rich's best bet. I did something a little bit different today, Jose, than I normally do. I spent a lot of time in the data after the fact looking for, ultimately my personal goal is to get into either the Breeders' Cup contest or the national handicapping contests, the final contests. And the national stage is at Las Vegas and wherever they're hosting the Breeders' Cup. You just can't get there if you take horses that you got to have horses that have high odds to win these damn things. So I'm really trying to figure out a way where I can predictably find 3 or 4 of them with good prices per card. The first race is off and running. The one horse right now, Vanilla Cream, is the leader. And then the 2 horse, as we predicted, Buddhist Prodigy, those 2 are out on the front. The 3 horse down on the rail trying to save some ground. The 5 horse, the first time starter, is in contention. And there's a pretty big gap back to that 8 horse there. Then I Love Ireland apparently doesn't love Gulfstream Park. The 1 horse continues to hold the lead. That is Vanilla Cream, about a length ahead of the 2 horse, Buddhist Prodigy. The 3 and the 5, Pharaoh's Favorite and Starship Kit Kat, first time starter. They're creeping up on those 2, but still about a length behind. Excuse me. Opening a half in 48.56 seconds. The 2 horse, that big 12-point total speed advantage, taking the lead now. The 3 horse looks like it's the one that might want to get involved later on in this race. Might be the one that upsets, but the jockey's all out on that one. So I don't think they're going to catch the 2. The question is, how much does the 2 to 5 win by? And it's probably going to be a lot. Strangely, as we mentioned, even at 2 to 5, the horse offered value because we had it at 1 to 10. So it's went off twice as high on odds as it should. So they're going to go 2, then the 3, then the 1. And I'm not quite sure who's going to be 4th because those horses are way, 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 way back. It's going to be the 8 knuckling its way past the 5, who apparently didn't like the Tapeta on his opening day race. Race number 2, Terry. Hopefully we like the horses that we've picked. So let's talk about first how and why they're running.
All right, so mile 16th. It's on the turf. It's a claiming race, $35,000 claiming price. Purse $41,000, and it's for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or which have not won a race since August 13th, 2024.
Yeah, $116 on the. Got all kinds of things running all over my computer screen there. $116 on the Gulfstream grass favors horses again that are middle forward. A decent number, 14, as we mentioned yesterday. Dan Fouts, the best 14 probably ever. There's a little bit of a rail edge for show off. 2 and 3, a bit of a discount. 4 through 7, a bit of a bonus. 8 and out a discount. So an according effect again on the rails there, Terry. Speed does matter. You want to be middle forward in the second race, Terry. Who's got the good chance to do that?
Well, as you can see there, the 5 and 6 have the most speed, and so they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 5 also has the only overlay I see, which is 3 to 1 to 15 to 1. And then all of them show par plus and all show seasons.
So a C zone is when we do our simulations on who's going to be on the lead. We compare that to their best performances and how likely today's race is going to match their best performances. And as for par plus, see here, 54% of the time show off. The one horse ran a speed figure equal to or better than the average par or par speed winning figure of 80. So that's where par plus comes in. This time around, we'll get a better view. We have the 5 horse that wants to pilot. The 4 and 6 can pilot or co-pilot. Really no pure co-piloters in here. The PC types, again, they're versatile. They can be anywhere on the track, front, middle, back. And then the 2, 3, and 7, they want to close. Pretty balanced shape in here. The early speed does belong to the Rotown, the 6 horse. It's about a length faster than Sassy Alley. Every 5 points is about 1 length as they turn for home and finish, show off. We'll be showing off its late legs at the end. The closer, Marissa's Revenge, also in that mix. Again, a little bit of a gap down to the next closest crew. Top total pace picture, Terry, here. The top 4 horses, 5 points better than the bottom 4 horses. And usually about 70% of the time, a touch more than that. The winner is in that first 4, Terry. Who are your first 4?
All right. Well, I like the 6, Rotown. She finished second versus similar on an all-weather track in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 29% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. She has a highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a good workout on February 7th. And then I like the 7 Tongue Twister. She has won 2 races out of the last 4. She has a trainer who wins 25% of the claiming races. He has a horse in, and she switches to high percentage winning jockey. Sassy Alley, the 5, won her last race at Gulfstream Park. She likes the turf, finishing in the money in 4 out of 5 starts on the turf. And she's won 2 of those races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Burn Away, the 3 is my long shot. She was only beaten 1 3/4 lengths versus similar on all-weather track in her last start, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play the very first Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 5, 6, 7 with the 5, 7, with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with the 1, 2, 4 $45 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 3 horse again. I mentioned I'm experimenting with some stuff today, so be forewarned. Burn Away could be better in the second start up after a layoff. Just missed at this level last out, and all of the race internals were better. 6, the Rotown horse in there. That's your morning line favorite. Aggressive early pace edge. Won the only time the horse ran on Gulfstream grass. Sassy Alley, the 5 horse, that long shot there that's got the simulation odds discount. 4 or 5 turf races are solid and runs hot off the sidelines like today. And then we have Show Off, the 1 horse. That one drops about 1 length in class. It is our simulation favorite as well as the morning line favorite. I am going to do a 50-cent pick 4 as well. 1, 3, 5, 6 with the 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Sounds like if 5 does well, I'll do well. $2 exacta key box 3 over the 1, the 5, and the 6 horse for my bets today. So we have $100 that we can invest however we choose. Race number 3 is what we'll do next. Terry, what about it?
It's a 1-mile race. It's a claiming race. $8,000 claiming price, purse $23,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won 3 races.
And at a mile on this racetrack, it is different than many mile tracks, is that it's a 1-turn mile. Important to keep that in mind because more often than not, 1 turn acts more like a sprint than a 2-turn route. And that's the case at Gulfstream Park as well because early speed absolutely dominates 43% of the time. I got Richard Petty, the only 43 I can think of off the top of my head. Strong rail. 2 to 3 play fair, 4 through 7 a discount, 8 and out. A bonus, Terry, you got to be fast for sure in this one. And in race number 3, do we have any road runners?
Yeah, we do. We have that 5 horse that shows more speed than all of them in there, although they all should have some kind of speed. But I think that 5 should get out of that gate and get to that quarter pole first. And then the 4 has the only overlay I see, which is 2 to 1 to 4 to 1. All but the 1 and 3 have par plus numbers. All of them have C zones, and the 5 has a nice 38% Q30.
Yes, Q30 being queer in points. He has 38% of the queer in points available for this race. And then, according to James Quinn, you can bet those horses blindly because they tend to turn a positive ROI. Let's see if that 5-horse will be out there on the lead, Terry. Maybe not. It does look like the 6 is the one that wants the lead. Flatter Me. According to our early pace numbers, Flatter Me might be at the back of the pack, not the front of the pack, not where it wants to be. Does look like HRT King does have about a 2-length early lead advantage over the rest of these in this race, Terry. At the end of the race, Knox will be coming the hardest, about 3/4 of a length quicker than everybody else. Really, aside from the 5-horse, should be a little bit more forward today than maybe a closing position. Those two have the top total pace, about 9 points and more, better than everybody else. So maybe just box the 5 and the 4 on an exacta box, Terry, and call it a day.
Yeah, I like the in this race as my pick of the day. I like the 5 HRT King. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park. He has the highest last speed rating. He has a trainer wins 28% of the in the first race after claiming a horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Zozan 7 is my second choice. Ran second versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 4 Knox is my third choice. Finished third versus similar in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey as well. Flatter Me is the 6. My long shot has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. So I'm going to go with my second day in a row, hopefully get my best bet to win. As yesterday, if you played my suggested bet of $100 in that best bet, you would have collected $514, I believe, and showed a profit of $414. So I'm going to bet 30 to win on the $5 exacta key box 5 with the 2, 4, 6, 7, and then a $10 exacta 5 on top with the 2, 4, 6, 7.
I'm going to begin with the 4-horse in here, Knox. That one, Terry's making a third start after a layoff for the first time in more than a year. So perhaps the horse finally healthy. It's a closer. Should be not too far off the pace here, chasing that 5-horse around the track. HRT King does have the top last race speed figure. It is 5 points better than everybody else. Does have a pretty aggressive early pace edge, too. Top total pace, 6 points over the 4-horse. And this one usually pairs peak efforts. And last time out was a peak effort. Next time out, you might want to fade this guy. Number 7, Zozan Irad, teaming up with Safi Joseph. I always want to call him Joseph Safi because he's got the names backwards. But anyway, they hit at a 28% rate together. The problem for me today with the 7 is its first up off the bench record is kind of sketchy. And then finally, Flatter Me, the 6-horse. None of the others have hit par at this level. This one should improve in round 2 off the sidelines and has hit par. Another $2 exact key box for me, 4 with the 5, the 6, and the 7. Let's see what's cooking over here. We have Jonathan, number 2 in this race, the third race. Which race? In race number 3, you like the 2-horse? I think the 2-horse scratched in here, Jonathan. That's why we don't have him in there. And I agree with Don Johnson. Hit that like button. It's free. Let's go, people. Great advice, as always, from Don Johnson, which, by the way, is where the Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4s come from. It was a suggestion he made. The way we align things on the screen is a suggestion other folks have made. If you have any ideas on how to make the show better for you and for everybody else, please let us know in the comments section. You can do so, too, over HRT Rich on Twitter or GTSRichB@gmail. If you'd like to share those ideas with me, I would greatly appreciate it. Anything we can do to make the show more enjoyable and better, let us know. Race 4, Terry, as we make our way through this 9-race card on this terrific Terry Thursday. Another one like the last one.
Yeah, it's a mile again, but it's a maiden $94,000 purse, so it's a pretty high purse. And it's for maiden fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
Just point out once again, it's a 1-turn mile. I point out once again that it does favor horses that go really fast. If you win the first call, you win the last call 43% of the time, wire to wire. Strong rail for Lunetta Jack. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 get a discount. 8 and out, they get a bonus. So again, the accordion effect from post positions. Terry, we talked about it in the last race. We're going to talk about it in this race. You got to be fast to get the W here.
Yeah, they all show speed, but the 3 and 5 have the most speed. They could go head to head that quarter pole, although the 5 has a little more. I mean, the 3 has a little more speed than the 5, according to the data. The 3 has an overlay 3-1, 6-1, and the 4 has an overlay from 5-2 to 7-2. All but the 1 and 5 have par plus numbers, and all but the 4 have a C zone.
You got a couple high 230 scores in there. These 3 are just standouts from par plus standpoints. Our race should set up where the 4 is low knee. If you can get the lead, Evino Frizzante can be your leader today. Could run away. They grow in confidence. 2, 3, 5, and 6, they want to close. The 1 horse so far not been close of late. Our early speed numbers. Does the 4 get that edge? Unfortunately, he does not. The 3 and the 5 as our simulation. So a pair of left arrow horses, closers that should move close to the front today. At the end, save time. The closer is the strongest closer of the group, about a length, 2 lengths faster than everybody else, and going to be about 2 lengths off the lead. Our top total pace picture, the 2 and the 3 stand above the rest. Terry, 7 points clear of the pack. Do either of those stand clear above the pack for you?
Well, before I go there, I want to answer Jonathan, and he said I have 2 horses in my plays. I think what he meant was I deleted the first time I put out Terry's best bet because I had the wrong race in there. I had the 5th race instead of the 3rd race. So now I put out the right information, which means the 3rd race. I like the number 5. So there you go. All right.
3rd race, number 5. There you go.
Yeah.
Ikati King.
So I think that's what he's talking about. But anyway, in the 4th race, I like the number 2 save time. She ran 2nd versus similar in last race. Her best third speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Taboo Mischief, the 5 is my second choice. She ran 2nd in her debut race at Delaware, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to the high percentage winning jockey. The 3 is my third choice. Stumbled at the start, lost her rider, so she didn't finish the race. So we're going to throw that race out. And she has a high percentage winning trainer, and she switches to the high percentage winning jockey, Paco Lopez. And then I like the 6 as my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer and a bullet workout on February 7th. No additional bets for me.
Yeah, Andrew, any idea what that says, Terry? Let's see what it says. We'll translate. Which won the first race at Gulfstream Park? Well, the 2 horse won easily. That horse was a 2-5 favorite, so you had to bet a lot of money if you wanted to make a lot of money on that guy. But surprisingly, even at 2-5, you got twice the value you should, because our simulation said it should be 1-10. So how about that? Playing double 2 at 5 at 3, 5, 6. Okay, John, thank you for that. Is that for this race right here? For race number 4? Please let us know in the comments. Terry has. We got that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I see what he's saying. So I got to fix my picks. He's right. I didn't change it after I got the scratches. So,
all right. Well, I'm going to go with Taboo Mischief again. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm working on a couple of things, trying to find some horses that are mid-priced that might be ignored by bettors that have a good chance to win. The 5 horse might fit that description. Well bet in both of its starts so far in its career. Maybe finally healthy, making a couple starts in a row. Should be forward against this crew. And, speed does win 43% of the time on the lead. Save time, the 2 horse, that's your 1-1 morning line favorite. The simulation odds say should be closer to 2-1. It's still our sim favorite, nonetheless. Does have the most back class. Closer, once again, we find Irad teaming up with Safi Joseph Jr. They win at about 30% together. The 3 horse, Calathea, might have the most untapped potential, making just the 3rd start of her career. As you mentioned, Terry, one of our favorite jockeys, Paco, because you don't know what he's going to do. And then finally, the 4 horse, Vino Frizzante. If it can get the lead, it might be a low knee. Much better early pace in its last start. Pair of maiden and workout sense. The horse should be more fit today. A $2 exact the key box, 5 over to 2, 3, 4. I think you're seeing a trend emerge on my betting choices today. The middle race of this card today is the 5th race, Terry. It's going to end the late pick 4. Hopefully we got a winner here. Terry, what are they doing?
It's a marathon. It's a 1.5 mile turf. It's an optional claiming race, $35,000 claiming price, purse $96,000. And it's for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won $20,000 once other than maiden claiming starter or restricted, or which have never won 2 races or a claiming price of $35,000.
Antonio Singer, the 2-horse, won the first race. Was our top pick, and I think it was everybody's top pick. So it went off at 2 to 5. At a mile and a half on the, I was going to say turf. I mean, turf course. I was going to say dirt, but I was trying to say turf and dirt at the same time, so I was going to say turf. But anyhow, they haven't won any races. They've only run, I don't think they've run any at this distance. So we don't have any data to share for profile of a winner. So the only data that we do have to share is our simulations. And according to them, it should be a pretty competitive beginning.
Yeah, they all but the 2 have show speed. I think it's an anyone's guess race because they all have similar speed numbers, or at least 4 or 5 of them do. 4 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 8 to 1. The 7 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 8 to 1. All but the 3 have par plus numbers, and all but the 2 have C zones. And I want to say thank you to Jonathan because he caught my mistake so I could correct it. Real good. At least I know somebody's looking at my bets.
That's quality control, right? It's always the folks on the outside helping us. The best quality control you can have, right? It's your loyal followers. 1, 2, and 3 want to be on the lead. The red, white, and blue. 4 and 8 in the middle. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So it looks like the inside horses to the front and the outside horses to the middle and the back. Tough to tell what's going to really happen at a mile and a half. Usually they come out of the gates kind of jogging, but it does look like El McGeeth is not going to come out of the gates jogging. It's going to come out of the gates flying. Let's see if it can hold that lead as they head into the home stretch after a marathon, like you called it, Terry. A lot of them with some competitive late speed in here, the 1, the 5, and the 9. So if the 1 is close early on, has the legs to withstand from start to finish. Our top 4, not including the 2-horse, you have the 1, 9, 3, and 4. Not quite sure what to make of the 2, Terry, because I think a lot of the numbers are international. What do you see happening here?
Well, I like the 2, Sugar Free. She comes in from Ireland as the only horse to have won at a mile and a half. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the 4, Bravo Kitten. She finished 3rd on an all-weather track in her last race. Her best third speed is fastest among today's starters. And she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 3, Priest. The 1 is my 3rd choice. She was beaten only 1 3/4 lengths versus tougher in her last start. She drops in class today. They added Lasix also. And then I like the 5 as my long shot. She won her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here.
Bravo Kitten just missed at this level. Much better early pace in that start for the 4-horse. A little bit of an overlay. Again, we find that combination, maybe a dynamic winning duo today of Irad and Safi Joseph Jr. Again, number 5, Silvology, coming off the maiden special weight win at the longest distance of its career. Getting a little bit more runway today, I think, is very helpful. So we're in a mile and 3/8 last time and closed good. So I think you get another 8th mile. Should continue that path. 3 Priests, the 1-horse, that is your morning line favorite. Definitely been facing much tougher company than it gets today. First Lasix could be useful. And then finally, I Am a Sure Thing. Gulfstream Park Grass horse. Yes, this is a Tom favorite that you'll see tomorrow on 4 and Fridays as we do Flemington down in Australia. A Tom favorite is one of those horses he doesn't think is going to win, but has a great chance to finish in the money. I think that's the case here with a Sure Thing too. 4 times out on Gulfstream grass, no wins, a 2nd and 3/3, 100% in the money, 0% in the winner's circle. Its resume says expect a better start in the 2nd after a layoff. $2 exact the key box, 4 over the 1, the 5, and the 8. Race 6 will begin. The late pick 4. We'll have some Don Johnson thoughts about that in just a moment. Before that, we'll share the conditions.
Okay, it's a mile and 16th on the all-weather track. Maiden claiming race, 17,500. Purse, 27,000 for maidens, 3-year-olds.
Yes, indeed. A mile and a 16th on that Topeka course. Us, again, favorite horses that want to be forward. Still 1 out of 5 managed to go gate to wire. There is a rail bonus for Cue the Music. 2 and 3 get a discount. 4 and outs fair. Outside is a little bit better than the inside once you get past the 4 post, Terry. So some forward speed, tactical speed is useful here. Terry, who's got it?
Well, all of them show speed, but the 2, but the 1 and the 5 show the most speed. If depends on who gets out of the gate the best between those 2 and who would probably get to the quarter pole. And the 2 has an overlay 6 to 1, to 12 to 1. The 3 has an overlay 6 to 5, 72. All but the 5 have par plus numbers. All but the 2 have C zones, and the 4 has a nice 36% Q30.
Yeah, good shot for that one to be forward. High par plus, a little bit of overlay from the morning line odds, but still in line. The way this race plays out, Terry, is the 5 wants to be on the lead. Drink deeply. Yes, probably a lot of teenagers and early 20s. Their Saturday and Friday night goal. Everybody else wants to be middle back. I mean, closer. The one hasn't finished within 5 lengths of the winner in recent starts. And this race, if the 5 can get to the lead, drink deeply, it should be competitive. Although the 1 and 4 are to its inside, they could have a little bit of an edge on that guy. As they wind it down towards the end, my sweet Adeline. That's that's a pretty good, about a length and a half late speed advantage over everybody else. The 4-horse Bella Mendy, a length better than everybody else according to total pace. Here's your top 4 again. That's mostly where the winner's found, in a big gap of 9 points down to the bottom 3. So very strong probability. If you pick one of these and you bet some money on it to win, you could be right. Who should that be, Terry?
Well, I like the 4 Bella Mendy. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer. Now, this trainer wins 31% of the races in the first race at a route and with a horse he trains. And she has a high percentage winning jockey who's Paco Lopez. And she has a bullet workout on February 6th. So that's a lot of boxes marked off. Drink Deeply, the 5's second choice, finished 3rd in her last race as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 22% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3 Breeze Through Time finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race, drops in class today. Her best all-weather speed is fast among today's starters. She's my 3rd choice, and my Longshots, not one less. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Because I think this is a little bit of a wide open race on my pick 4, Miami Vice Don Johnson. I'm going to play the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the 2, 4, 5 with the 5, 6, and finish up with the 1, 3, 12, a $45 ticket.
I'm going to begin as a wide open race with the 7-horse is my top choice. Not one less. Looking at not one less. This horse is going to be coming at the end. Did have a pretty wide trip last time around. I'm expecting a little better path around the course today. Bella Mendy, the 4-horse. That one's going to go long, as you mentioned, for the first time. Terry does have a bullet workout between starts. A lot of times those horses that go long for the first time are unaware that that's what they're doing. Breeze Through Time. Shouldn't they just rename that horse Life? Top last race speed figure, 6 points better than anybody else. Just missed in her last start. And you're going to drop a little bit in class. That's a lot of good things pointing towards a possible W. And then finally, the 1-horse on the rail, Cue the Music, is the biggest class dropper in the field. About a length easier today than it faced last time. Doesn't look like it on paper when you look into PPs, but when you do the math, it says Cue the Music could cue the field once the race gets started. My pick 4, I couldn't find the race where I only wanted to go 2 horses, so I went with the standby 3x3 $40.50. $2 exact, the key box, the 7 over the 1, the 3, and 4. 3 races to go, Terry, before we finalize our week together. This is a short one.
Yep, we're going to shorten up to 5.5 furlongs, all-weather track. And it's an optional claiming race, $35,000 claiming price, first $41,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less since February 13th, 2024, or a claiming price of $35,000.
5.5 furlongs. Tepita, you better be really fast. 39 out of 100. Get to the lead and never, ever, ever see the backside of another horse. You find that the rail here, Nana's Corn Muffin, interesting name for a horse, gets the bonus. 2 and 3 get a bit of a discount. 4 through 7, that's the best place to be. And somehow 8 and out is the worst place to be. So you don't want to wear an 8, Terry. So bad luck today. But fortunately, in race number 7, there isn't an 8. Who's got the gas here?
Well, as you can see there, they all have speed, but that 5 has the most speed, and that 5 gets out of there, it probably gets that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. The 2 has an overlay from 9 to 5 to 5 to 2. All but the 6 have par plus numbers, and they all show C zones.
Let's see who shows an interest in how this race might play out. Well, kind of balanced. 2 that want the lead, 2 that want to close, 2 in the middle. These Sesame Street horses, the 1 and 4, can be dangerous, especially if these go too fast, or if they go too slow, then they can pick up the pace. The 2 and 6, they're going to want to come off and hope that these 4 up front really spend a lot of octane getting going. Early on, Glitter Up, the one that we saw as the best chance to get the lead, does have the best chance to get the lead, although Nana Corn Muffin to the inside will definitely make it work. Late Speed belongs to Miss Green, the closer, the most closingest of the closers, although the 6 horse will be in front of that one as they get going. Our top total pace picture, only 12 points separating worst to first, and then the top 3 having a pretty decided edge over the rest. So 2, 1, and 4, Terry, any of those your top pick?
Well, I like the 4, My Lady James. She finished 3rd versus similar in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 25% of the races on all-weather track that he has a horse running it, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Glitter Up, the 5's the second choice, ran 2nd versus similar in her last race, and she likes the distance. And then 2, Mrs. Green, 3rd, won her last race at Woodbine. Her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 3 is My Long Shot, Heaven Rules. She has an early foot, so the shorter distance will help. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 21% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
Heaven Rules. I don't think there's been you can't come up with a better name than that, I suppose. Strong on the all-weather track. Irad riding that one today. That's a tell they expect something positive. Following better early pace. Again, Craig Milkowski. If you rewind through some of our shows on our YouTube channel, search for Craig Milkowski from Time Form. He shared a lot of great insights on how to dissect data and see which horses are likely to improve. Number 4, My Lady James. That one, its resume says she will be better, maybe a whole lot better in the second start after a layoff. Number 2, Miss Green. That is our simulation favorite. It also has the top last race speed figure, 8 points better than the next closest horse. It's the only class dropper in the field, a little bit less than a length easier today than it was last time. Only reason I didn't put this one closer to the top is because it's been off since May, so you don't know how it's going to come back. And then Nana's Corn Muffin. Sounds tasty. Does get the real bonus. The last race was a little bit better than it looks in the past performances. The fractions were slightly faster. As I mentioned already, tomorrow will be Foreign Friday with Tom and I. It'll be the last Foreign Friday for a couple of weeks, as Thomas is going to venture off to, he's going to be like pitchers and catchers. He's going to report to spring training. Lots of fun for that. I hope he enjoys his time. Terry, to make sure you don't miss the last Foreign Friday for a while, what's the smartest thing you could ever do?
Well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you're notified about all these great programs coming up. Copy the link below and share it with all of your friends, relatives, neighbors, everybody you know, so they can come and check us out. Then go to our social sites such as Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up and a like. That helps us out a lot. And keep these comments coming as we enjoy to see them, and they help us out too.
So when the show is over, sell suck. We'll go and post all of our picks for the rest of the day in just a few minutes because we only got 2 races left to do. And then we'll put them all up on there, and you can go ahead and timestamp that. This is what we always do. All right, so looking at race number 2 now, Mr. Terry, they are making their way towards the track. Looks like they're getting into the gates. If you're looking for some value, well, the 1 horse at 5-2, those are fair odds. You 22 to 24 to 1, the 3 horse 18 to 1, the 9 to 1, the 5 horse, the 4 horse at 5 to 1, a little bit sassy. It looks like you can get some good value on the 5 horse. The 6 horse we have at 8 to 5. That's your favorite right now at 8 to 5. The 7 horse, maybe not. Mia Moore, a little bit of value there. So it looks like the best value in the race, if you're just looking to make a win bet and get more odds than you should, that's the 5 horse. Maybe put it together with the 1 horse in an exacta box for $2. And if it hits, you're going to get a heck of a return, more than you should. And I think that's to me, that's why I think over the course of my lifetime, I've been able to manage and stay ahead, because I do a lot of the hot dog betting. They're running in the second race right now. The 5-horse, Sassy Alley, has gone to the front, just as our prediction said she would. The 6-horse, Rowtown, we had that one in second. Guess where it is? It's in second, Terry. The 4-horse, Stern Chaser, down on the rail, trying to save a little bit of ground to the outside. Well, they're not all that far apart from the nose of the 5 to the tail of the 3. Looks like about 6 lengths. Looks like they're running pretty modest fractions, 23.92 seconds for the opening quarter. Sassy Alley continues to be the pace setter, the favorite, right to the outside in Rowtown. Down on the rail, continuing to save ground, is Stern Chaser. To the outside, Tongue Twister, about a length behind that. The 1-horse, Show Off. And then I don't know who's to the outside. The 2 and the 3, Maria's Revenge and Burnaway, all the way in the back of the pack. 2's trying to save some ground on the rail. Opening quarter, 48.41 seconds. So they got to slow it down a little bit. Might be tough for the closers to chase these horses down, but they're going to try, of course. The field is tightening up a little bit. The 6-horse, the favorite, has put his nose out in front of the 5, and to the outside of that is the 7-horse. My 3-horse is going to have to go 500 lengths wide. Probably going to be a tough spot to close in. Does look like the 6-horse is continuing to hold sway. The 7-horse is trying to get involved. The 8-horse on the outside might screw us all up, Terry. And it looks like as they hit the wire, it's going to go 7, 6, 8. So the 7-horse, Tongue Twister, at 9-1, coming home as the top pick. And your pick 4 off to a good start.
Yeah, it is. That's good. That's great. Great news, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Race number 8 is where we'll go next. Let's try it to see what the beginning of the late double looks like.
All right, let's do that. So in race 8 at 7 furlongs, it's claiming $12,500 claiming price, purse $27,000, and it's for 4-year-olds and upward.
So 7 furlongs, claiming $12,005. We're looking for early speed at this quirky distance. About a third of them hold the lead from beginning to end. Post positions are mostly fair 1 through 7. 8 and out, they get discounted. So speed does matter. Once again, Terry, just don't be a Buffalo girl on the outside with that speed. Be on the inside.
Yep, and that's where the speed is. If you can see there, that 2 has the most speed, although all of them have speed, but the 2 has a lot of speed according to the data. And then the 1 has overlay from 2-1 to 4-1. The 2 has an overlay from 5-1 to 15-1. And the 5's overlay is 5-2 to 3-1. All of them show par plus, all show C zones, and the 6 has a nice Q30.
Indeed. Our race shape for the beginning of the late double. Well, most everybody middle back. So get forward at a distance. We're getting forward is the place you want to get. It does look like the 2-horse on the inside will get forward as the PC type. The late speed belongs to Self-Taught. Well, that one's about a length quicker than everybody else, probably about a length and a half off the pace. Our top total pace horse is that closer, Self-Taught, and then the Speedster, about a length behind. Speed or closer, Terry, which way did you go?
I went with the, the number 5, Self-Taught. He won 2 races out of the last 3 starts. He can handle the distance, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like number 6, Thought. Drops in class today, can improve while returning to dirt, has a high percentage winning jockey, and that's Paco Lopez. And then Lumi Sima, the 3 is my third choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Major King is the long shot, the number 1. He likes Parks racing. He's been here in the money 68% of the time here, won 14% of those starts, and the distance won't cause any problem as he's been in the money 80% of the time. That's it.
God has not chosen that horse racing is corrupt. Well, I just say, Private Ross, that anything human hands get on it at some point in time has the opportunity to be corrupted. Apollo Code, that 2-horse, that's a big overlay. That one should be on the lead, and look at that comfort zone. We've seen that many, many times. A horse with a strong chance to get to the lead that's going to love the pace, go wire to wire. I'm hoping that 15-1 that actually happens. did have some better early and late pace in its last race. Bullet workout between, so they're going to send him again. Self-taught, the 5-horse, off more than a year. Yeah, so maybe. All or nothing at Gulfstream Park. I think 3 wins and 6 tries, nothing else. All or nothing at the distance, 2 wins and 4 races. So either going to win or you're not going to see it. Number 6, Thought, Paco, morning line favorite. Well done well, at the peculiar distance. 6 times out, 2 wins, 2/3. And then finally, Major King, the 1 horse on the rail. Another one of those horses that Tom likes. Doesn't win 5 times at the distance. No W's, but 4 seconds and no thirds. Last race for this week, Terry, is race number 9. This one is going to be what?
Okay, we're going to go to a mile on the turf. It's a maiden late race. It's a purse of 94,000, and it's for maidens, fillies, 3-year-olds.
Yes, and a mile on that turf is 1 complete turn around the track. Boom, boom, right there. To get the W at that distance, what you're looking to do is stalk. 23%, as I mentioned already, there's only 123. That is Michael Jordan. Post positions are mostly fair 1 through 7. You get a little bit of an edge if you wear the 8 or out. Tactical speed does well. You still got a good chance to go wire to wire. Pretty wide open field here, Terry, but only a few really standing out at the beginning.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry again. Something flying around in here, I guess. The 5, 9, and 1 show the most speed, and they could go to the quarter pole first head to head. 1 has an overlay from 7-2 to 5-1. The 5 has an overlay from 7-1 to 8-1. 7's overlay is from 10-1 to 12-1. 8 has an overlay from 8-1 to 10-1. All but the 9 and 11 have par plus, and all but the 2 and 10 have C zones.
A lot of green all over the place. Pretty wide open race, it looks like, to close the show, to close the week. Maybe we can get some hints in here. Well, the 12 is a lone E. If it can get to the lead, look out. 5 and 8, they'll want to pressure. Everybody else, middle back, a couple first-time starters in the 2 and 10. We'll see if they have anything to offer today. At the beginning of the race, the 5-horse. The 12-horse nowhere near that lead. Could be a difficult spot if it doesn't get it. Late speed, we're looking for. The 13 scratched out at the end, so that one's not in the mix. So let's take that out of there. Tellus is not about going to run today, so the late speed's going to go to, instead, that one's going to go to the 1-horse. CD Akat, I'm not sure, but a lot of them very similar late speed in here. Our top total pace picture tells us that the 1, 9, 3, and 12, 8-point advantage over everybody else, with the 1-horse having a significant edge in a wide open race. So maybe the 1-horse is the way to go. Terry, which one did you go with?
I like the 3 without a pout. She finished second in her last race. She has the highest high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the races when using first-time Lasix and with the horse that she trains. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like that 1-horse. She was beaten 2 lengths versus similar only start. She can improve at a longer distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Crystal Air, the 12, is my long shot. My third choice. It comes in for Ireland, and the first race here was only beaten 2.5 lengths, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like the A as my long shot, finished third versus in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That's it for me. I'm out of money.
I'm going to start with Mia Vanna, the high Q30 score horse in there. This one, the 5-horse, going to go long for the first time today. If she can build on that last race, well, she did run the top last race speed figure. It would be maybe a tough challenge for the rest to overcome. 3, without a pout, the second choice for me. Been really consistent, likely to benefit from the addition of Lasix today. The 1-horse, CD Akat, I'm not sure, is our top total pace horse. 7 points better than everybody else. If she has any second race improvement, it's probably a wrap. I had the 13 in here at first, then that scratched out. I went with the 12-horse, second race in the U.S. after a bunch of lackluster, I think a trio of lackluster performances in at Ireland, some top-tier tracks. Some of the names, however, that she did run against were recognizable to me thanks to Foreign Fridays, but kind of flattened at the end of the last race. So that horse will have to show a little bit more late race stamina today or get more favorable fractions. Could be tough in a deep field. $2 exacta key box, 5 over the 1, the 3, and the 12. To wrap up our picks for this week, let's take a look at our full selections for today. The 2-horse carrying the water in the first race, and then the 7. So if that's the case, should go 2, 7, 4. That's the way it's going. And then the 6 in the next race, and then they'll go back this way on that zig and that zag.
All right.
Well, that would be a good way for the day to go. All right, Terry. Again, horseracingtoday.net. When the show is over, we'll post all of our comments down in the description in YouTube. We'll timestamp every race, so you can come back and watch them at your leisure. Over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, you'll find them here on the homepage. Horse Racing Today. While you're there, hit that HRT gear. Come on over here. Get yourself a hat, a T-shirt. Get ready for the spring. It's coming. Not in Chicago over the next 2 weeks. I think maybe borderline 0 for a lot of days. That's going to suck. Well, what are you going to do? But what doesn't suck are free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Head on over to there. There's a link again in the description wherever you find us. Take advantage of that every single day. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we part ways today?
Yeah, just to make sure you, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell to get notified. Copy the link below and share it with your friends. Really helps us out. We need to get to 10,000 subscriptions. And go to our social sites as you see them scrolling down here at the bottom, and give us likes and thumbs up. Also, keep these comments and picks coming. It makes the show enjoyable, and helps us with our algorithms. Have a safe day and a great time, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, lest I forget. I almost forgot. The Risen Star this weekend, one of the big Kentucky Derby qualifying races. At Fairgrounds on Saturday, we will have a wagering guide up sometime tonight or sometime early tomorrow. I'm not sure because they put the information out so late, and I'll be working on it today probably till early morning hours. So make sure you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet to get that once it becomes available. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, whether you have a long day of work ahead like I do, or you're having a nice, easy, relaxing day, no matter what it is, we certainly hope it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do today ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. We'll see you tomorrow for 4 and Friday, and then back for Parks on Monday.